Picking the right spiritual practitioner for you can be very overwhelming. Take it from me. I always say before you get to the good ones, the one that is genuinely here to help you, you must first go through the bad batch. It's just like any other thing. Now, why is it important for you to pick a right practitioner? Because you want to make sure that you are being guided in the right things. I mean, in the right way, in the right path. And you want to make sure that you are not suppressing any emotions, you're not suppressing any trauma, and you are actually healing certain things. Because what a lot of spiritual practitioners tend to do sometimes, especially if they never worked on themselves, they will never encourage you to work on yourself. And when you don't work on yourself, you're going to be in a cycle of creating more chaos and creating more conflict and more things, unhealthy things for yourself. And no matter how much witchcraft or spells or whatever thing that you do, it's only a matter of time for your emotions to come back up, for the things that you constantly running away from, for it to come back up. And that is a sign for you to really sit down with yourself and evaluate the situation, or evaluate your emotions, or sit with your emotions so you can understand it better. A lot of practitioners, when they're not healed themselves, they never took that step to heal themselves or get on a path to heal themselves. Like I said before, they would never encourage you to heal yourself, because it's a lot. Because we accumulate a lot of things, we went through a lot of things, and some of the things that is so bad for some of us that we just don't want to face it. And when we don't face it, it creates more chaos. It manifests into something else in our lives, whether it's our finance, our love life, our children, our work, anything. It can manifest into anything. And when doing certain spells to suppress those type of emotions, or to suppress those type of situation, you got to keep in mind we're not really in control at 100%. So there's gonna be a time where you have no choice, where you're gonna feel like your back is against the wall, and you have no choice but to face that situation that you've been running away from. Not everything can be covered up with spell work. Not everything can be covered up with offering. Some things you do have to sit down and address it. You do have to face it. So it is very, very important when you are picking a spiritual practitioner, you don't pick someone that is, showing you how to do more spell work to cover up certain things, and to really cover up certain things for yourself. Instead, you pick the one that is trying to help you heal certain things, that is making you address certain things, making you face certain things, so you don't have to keep doing the whole back and forth with any type of energy, and you know how to really kind of like protect yourself from certain things. So picking the right practitioner is very important for you, and I am about to show you 10 steps on what you can do before picking the right spiritual practitioner for you. I don't know why I'm getting tongue tied there. Number one, analyzing what you're going through. I wrote some notes down. Analyzing what you're going through. When you analyze certain things that you're going through or you've experiencing in your life, it's important for you to sit down with yourself and evaluate. It's like going to the doctor. You got to figure out why you're feeling this way, why are you going through the things that you're going through, so you can make some changes, so you can know exactly where to make changes in your life. So number one, always analyze what you're going through. Number two, do your research. Do your research on your bloodline. Do your research on what you're going through. Do your research, a thorough research on your whole family. Who've experienced what you've experienced before? Did anyone in the past experience this before? How did they overcome it? Who else is going through the same thing or not similar to what you're going through? Research. You got to do your research. You got to learn a little bit more about not only yourself, but the family that you're in, the bloodline you're in, why this family was picked for you, why you end up in this family, why you going through the things that you're going through, why you behave the way that you behave. Is it something that is genetic? Is it something that is people in the family has gone through before you? So always research what you're going through in your bloodline, your family, your lineage. Always do your research. I am a firm believer in when you do your research on your family, it gives you a better understanding on how to really fully understand what you're going through and why you experience the things that you experience and why you have a particular mindset. Number three, before picking a practitioner, always it's important for you to pray, meditate, before you do anything, you know. So if you do find a practitioner that you're interested in, do your research on that practitioner, do your research on their belief system, their spiritual practice, you know, figure out, you know, if what you are going through, can they really help you with that? Not spell work, but emotionally, can they really help you with that? Because spell work is something that you just sometimes can be just like a band-aid. You're just putting a band-aid over it and then okay, you go. But there is always that you always going to come back type of thing. So that's why a lot of spiritual practitioner doesn't really advertise the whole healing, but all they advertise more spell work, because the spell work keeps people coming back. So you don't really heal anything. You just, they give you a band-aid sometimes, and then you go about your business, and then down the line, the situation is going to present itself again, and you're going to be in more chaos, and then it's like you're going to be in this loop, in a cycle. You're going to always keep coming back. So it's just like going to the doctor, and they prescribe you, a medicine or prescription, but it's not going to heal the situation, because you're not healing anything at the root right now. You're just suppressing it, putting a band-aid over it, and just keep going. But the situation, the problem, still exists. It's still there. So always do your research on that practitioner, on how they do things, their spiritual practice. Are they more into dark stuff or light stuff? Can they really balance your life? Are they life balance? You got to ask as much questions as possible when it comes to that. Now, number 4 is something that I know for a fact a lot of them doesn't do. That's why I do it in my spiritual practice. Consultation. Yes. For you to know if a practitioner is in the same alignment with you, or if you really want to feel if the energy is neutral, if if you have a good feeling about this, and if you for sure this is who you want to go with, a consultation. Any practitioner that doesn't allow or have any type of consultation with you, that's a sign. That's a sign. Because even going to any facility, any doctor, any whatever, there's always a consultation. When you go to a job, they do a job interview. It's just like a consultation to see if this is gonna be, something that you will be interested in. So always a consultation. Always pick a practitioner that does consultation, because you don't want to throw a bunch of money out there. You don't want to get a lot of false hope in thinking this person can help you, and 9 out of 10 they probably can. But see, the thing is, if they would have had a consultation with you, they would have seen exactly where your situation is coming from, and to see if this is the right person for you. Not look at someone online and feel like, okay, well, they're saying the right thing, they're doing the right thing, they look like they're legit, and then you valiantly bring yourself over, and you never had they never had a consultation with you. So, and you find out that maybe was not the right person. You understand? So to avoid a lot of things, sometimes I think consultation is the number one thing. Is always go with a practitioner that have a service that involve consultation first. After your consultation, this is where you go and pray and meditate. I'm a firm believer in prayer and meditation, so always pray to see what's going to be your next step. Whether you guys had a reading during the consultation, or you just had a simple reading, before you do any type of spiritual work, or trying to do anything that has to do with spirituality or any spells, always pray and meditate to make sure you doing the right thing, or you on the right path with this individual. So rely on prayer, rely on yourself, your spirit guide, and meditate on anything that you're about to do first. Number 6, take your time. It's important for you to take your time. After your consultation or your reading, before you do anything after, take your time. You don't have to rush anything. If the practitioner or someone is rushing you to do some type of spell or anything, that's a sign. So you always got to take your time, because you got to get that okay from your spirit guide, from the ancestors, from the Most High, to make sure that this is the right person or this is the right thing for you to do. Because if a practitioner is not in alignment, or their practice is not in alignment with your ancestor, with your lineage, your bloodline, they can put a block with that person. So sometimes it's not what the practitioner did that didn't work. It's because your ancestor, your bloodline didn't allow them to be fully in your energy like that. So they put a block for them not to do certain things. So it's not always that what they did, the spell didn't work or none of this didn't work. It's just that you didn't consult with your ancestors first. That your ancestors didn't give them the okay. So, so always take your time. And whenever a practitioner or someone is rushing you to do something, that's a red flag. You shouldn't be rushed, because this is something that is very important and it has a lot to do with you. So you should not be rushed by anyone or anything. Now, number 7 is paying attention to what they're saying and what they're not saying. You got to pay attention to what they're saying. And sometimes, some practitioners, say things indirectly sometimes. And whether you're doing a reading or anything, whatever it is, you got to pay attention to what they're saying and what they're not saying. So you got to be very aware of self. You got to really listen to your intuition when it comes to certain things. So paying attention to what they say and what they're not saying is very important. Down the line, you will understand why. Number 8, you got to... Again, be aware on the questions they are asking you. A practitioner that is, here to really, really help you would ask you about, certain information about your bloodline. Who else experienced what you're experiencing? Like they really will go and see certain things in the bloodline if it's something that is just part of the family, or it's part of the bloodline, or if it's something that like an entity or spirit that is body jumping from people to people. Like there's a lot of things they have to check when it comes to like your bloodline, your family. When did you start experiencing this? Who else experienced this before you. So basically they will always go through the root of the issue, not what you're telling them. They will always double check with permission with your ancestors to see the root of the issue, where this issue is coming from. So whenever a practitioner asking you about your lineage, your bloodline, it's always because he wants to know. Sometimes they want to know if it's something that is connected to something that is part of the the lineage, is part of the family. Number 9 is always remember the reason that, again, it's back to that, consultation again. The reason that a consultation is important is because you want to know your client. You want your client to know you, because when you go to a practitioner and you do spell work or whatever, you allowing this person to be in your energy. So you have to know as much as the person as possible, just like they have to know as much as you too as possible, because you're going to be in each other's space, you're each other's energy. So you need to know, what you're up against. So you need to have so you can really assess the situation. Like I mentioned before, consultation is like going to the doctor. Going seeing a practitioner that does consultation first is like going to the doctor. They ask questions on your lineage, your bloodline, your ancestor, yourself, your mother, your father, all those important questions to really build a case for this person to see where is this issue is coming from. How did you start feeling like this? What's the cause? What's the root cause of this issue? And so on and so forth. So number 9, always important. Like I said before, consultation. It gives you a better understanding of your practitioner, and the practitioner get a better understanding of you and your situation. Number 10, lastly, after any services from a practitioner, whether it's a consultation, a reading, a spell, you should leave out of there with clarity and understanding. You should not feel the same way you felt when you came to the practitioner. You should have some type of relief, some type of clarity, and understanding after leaving this, practitioner. If you don't feel like that, or you feel overwhelmed, or you feel like, you still feel the same, then you might want to reassess the situation or reassess the person. Someone's energy is off balance. You supposed to feel at ease. You're supposed to feel you're supposed to have more of understanding on why you're going through the things that you're going through. You're supposed to have some sort of clarity mentally. And so basically you're supposed to feel, I'm not going to say 100% better, but a load should be lifted off of you, and you're supposed to have some type of relief. So that's how you will know if this is the right energy for you, not the physical person, the energy. If this is the right energy for you, if this person has the right energy for what you need. When the energy is bringing balance, is bringing clarity, is bringing understanding. So that's always where you need to go, is with that person. So you should leave there better than before you got there. So if you feel the same, you might want to reevaluate that. Now, not every practitioner are miracle workers. Maybe sometimes they're having a bad day, or they have their own personal issue that they're going through. If you notice that, you got to pay attention to how you feel. If you notice you're getting irritated, or they're getting irritated, maybe you shouldn't continue. You give the person space, because they're human too. They go through things just like you go through things. So you got to be fair and understanding, like maybe it's not the right time. So so they're not miracle workers. They are human too. So they go through things. So make sure it's the right time, the person is in the right space. They're not gonna be 100% happy, but make sure they're in the right space to for your needs. So be patient with them.